Alright, so I was thinking, you know, where can we go next? How about we go pick up Shale? Head down to the village of Honnleath. Got a level to spend here. I think I'm going to go ahead and get my stealth. I'd like to work my way to keen defense, but it looks like I have to be level 15 for that. And I can't even put the next point in there at level 12, because we're not level 12 yet. So, getting there. I'll be there shortly. So that's cool. Gonna eventually get all the stealth, to where I can pretty much pop in and out of stealth regardless of the situation. Real high level bosses like, you know, dragons and things will probably be able to knock me out of it, detect me, so to speak. But other than that, once you get master level, it's pretty hard to get knocked out of it. Indeed. Even when you're fighting. It's pretty cool. Alright, so we're still here, and there's some things we can do along the way. Mainly get ambushed, right? Okay, I know what this is. I know exactly what this is. We'll see by the name, too. Yep.
I sense something drawing near.
Trickster Whims. These are, these were unlocked back at the Circle Tower when we did the summoning thing. The second summoning font. Brought this guy up and you hear him laugh and he kind of disappears. Well, here he reappears. Now, how these guys here relate to demons, I'm not exactly sure. One of you lore aficionados would know. I say demons, spirits, coming from, you know, a summons, anyway. Exactly how these guys play into all that, I don't know. Really need to get this guy off the battlefield, like, right now. He's got some pretty good defenses. I can barely hit him. Yeah, he's hiding. Okay, the reason they're locked on to Alistair there is he had force field around him because he'd gotten down to a certain health point, and notice he was basically an indestructible tank there, doing his thing. But this guy will drop these Magus or Magus war boots, and they're a unique item to him. I don't know that other copies of that may not be found, like from a merchant or something somewhere else, but he will always drop those. Alright, now it's heading here. This is, this spawned either with some codex we found somewhere, or from one of the Mage Collective or Blackstone Irregular quests, you know. You reach into the bag and see what they want you to do, or when you reach into the Blackstone's box. Anyway, once we're done with this, then next time we come across one of their bags or boxes, we can turn in whatever we've done. I don't really so much keep track of it. I just make sure you know, when a place pops up on the map, that I stop there, see what's going on, and complete whatever quest needs to be done. Like this, just kill a bunch of Darkspawn. Pretty good mob of Darkspawn, actually. Having 2 of those emissaries, that's interesting, to say the least. But these are not only a good source of loot from turning them in to the Mage Collective and so on, but also pretty much everything you kill drops something on these little side trips right here. Maybe not real valuable stuff, but it adds up. Gold isn't an issue now. As you may notice, next time I click in my inventory, I have a little over 1,000. I figure that's enough, plus whatever loot I'm going to find, without having to worry too much about it. Although I'll still be thorough and pretty much pick up everything I see. This is enough gold to handle all the dream items, as far as that goes. Something to not think about. It's gold that I would have gotten, like I've said before, either selling potent lyrium potions or whatever. Dealing with Bodan just made it a lot quicker.
coin, stranger? The doors of Mar closed off. Old Tegger can give you a discount. Fine weapon and arms, dwarven made. There's two things I'm here for. Travel or trade. Understand?
I'm not here to chit-chat, huh? Okay. You better have some good deals. Now, I think these ceremonial armored boots, this is the only place you can get those. Of course, it goes with the set, and I believe the set resembles the set that you start the game with as a dwarf noble. That particular set of armor. It's also, I believe, the same pattern that the Legion of the Dead armor follows also. Just a different color. I'm actually really fond of that with a warrior. The dwarf warrior. I really actually like that style of armor a lot. And those blue shoes go to Liliana. But there's some dialogue with her first. To get, I think, more approval when you give them to her or something like that. She'll go through this funny little thing about shoes. If she hasn't already. I don't know, maybe something we've already talked about, but I'll pass them along to her, no problem. Now, I thought he had a backpack, and speaking of backpacks, I need to remember to go back to the Lake Callan had the Mage Tower requisition guy, their little merchant down there at the bottom. I don't remember if I bought his backpack while I was there, but there was some other things I couldn't get. See, there was a staff. I don't remember if I wanted it or not, but I remember it being real expensive. Some tomes, at least a tome, for skill or ability points or something like that.
Even more darkspawn.
Anyway. It's cool that Paralyze is sometimes a highlight on an enemy that's annoying your mages. It's like, oh, over here, kill this guy. Froze him in place for you. Thank you very much.
Begin the onslaught.
Well, while they're doing that, I think I'm going to come up here and get rid of these archers. That seems the wise thing to do. Of course, maybe I'm thinking a little too much Inquisition. Actually, all those melee characters are giving my party a run for their money. Yeah, I'm losing some. Yeah, oh well. That's both the mages. Huh. Okay, well, I thought I had Alistair assigned to avert his attention to anyone bothering at least Wynn. Unless they were both attacking Morrigan, and so he didn't think, or he was out of range, or something. I don't know. This is one of those times where you could go into tactics and redirect one of your party members or whatever. I'm not going to bother. Alright, so I guess we've cured the immediate Darkspawn threat here in Honnleath.
I'm unable to do that.
And I need a key for that. Don't remember what buildings you can go in, if any. Been a long time since I've been here. Alright, well, first we'll take care of the important part, right?
More.
Okay. Probably gonna get another emissary up here. That's my prediction. We learned a lesson last time. We're gonna take care of the immediate threats first. Notice I'm not paying so much attention to the lower minions, even the ones that are hitting me, because honestly, they're having a hard time hitting me, and it's going to get even harder. Let me get keen defense under my belt and quite a few more points into dexterity, and yeah, it's gonna be nigh impossible for a lot of the much lower level enemies to hit me at all. Okay, something tells me that's the key for that chest way back at the beginning.
It is done.
Comparing this to Inquisition, it's, well, obviously looks much different, but still, considering what they had to work with, I really like the art here. I really do. I mean, it's a consistent art style, and I still think it's well done. There's some really good effects like fire and things like that that actually look really good. There's a cartoony edge to it, I guess, in some ways. I mean, there's some texturing and things like that. You know, like even in the ground and, you know, wood and stuff like that. I mean, that you know, I'm impressed by it. But in the same token, there's also somewhat of a cartoony effect. Not to the extent that like a Borderlands or something, which has its like own complete unique thing. They just took cartoony to the next level. Basically, it's like watching a bunch of tattoo flash art move around, which is really cool. You know, this is that kind of in between. Not realistic necessarily. Although some of the texture, like, look at that brick wall. That's not bad, actually. But, not, well, obviously not photorealistic either. Pretty cool. There's some games where, try as they might, the art and stuff will almost knock me out of getting immersed into the game. It's like, it's bad. Or a lot of elements of it are good, but certain things are done so poorly that they kind of like, you know, spoil the mood, so to speak. And you know, this isn't one of those. This, you know, everywhere I go has that Origins feel. I know I'm in Origins, it just immediately. And yeah, I like that. I appreciate that. Alright, so it looks like this is the only house we can actually enter here.
No.
Fix any injuries. I think we're in for a couple more pretty good fights here. Mobs. Dealing with mobs can be an issue. Factor in friendly fire, like any other Dragon Age. Once you factor that in, your AoE is limited.
Got it.
Dragon Age 2 had a few options, mainly lightning. Lightning was effective against many enemies. All but essentially one of the enemies were, you know, some were even weak to it. But you could do some AoE with that, but everything else for the most part, especially like fire and ice, that was a party killer. You did not want to throw a firestorm out. You couldn't even use Winter's Grasp in Dragon Age 2. You'd because it had a small AoE effect, even if you hit a single target with it. If you were standing within, you know, say a couple feet of that target, you're going to fix and get frozen solid and take all the subsequent attacks from whatever enemies were around that enemy, assuming they weren't frozen too. And either way, you were going to take a bunch of damage also. So, yeah, that was nasty. They really made friendly fire make you think twice about your character build. It's why honestly, it's really responsible for the way I think the way I do in Inquisition. And partly how I build here, also. It's a nice habit. It really narrows down. It asks me to put a little more thought into my builds, you know? For good or bad, whatever. I mean, it's fun to me, you know, and I share that with you guys, for those of you that can relate. Cool. If not, well, you know, whatever, you know, still please come along for the ride and share the story. But if you're really into builds also, I think you can appreciate how it essentially takes out a few components, then cranks up the difficulty, right? And then says, you know, how do you deal with that? You know, and so you got to take a harder look at party tactics, you know, preset, you know, AI behaviors and so on and so forth. I mean, you really have to take a good look at it. And I like that. I like, you know, that being asked and then meeting that challenge. That's like a game within the game, is setting, you know, the party tactics and finding a workable build, and then saying, okay, I'm going to go beyond that. I'm not only going to find a build that works when I go into tactics, but I'm going to find a build that works without having to go into tactics, where the AI is programmed in such a way that it does its job essentially all the time, the way it's supposed to. And I really think that's cool. That's this kind of meeting like another challenge for those that don't have the patience or interest for it. Well, I get it. You know, that's cool, but I really get a kick out of it, and it enriches the game for me. It adds more bang for my buck as far as the game goes. It really does. And so I pass that along, and you know, I really kind of secretly hope that some of you guys who really haven't given it maybe a whole lot of thought might start looking into it and see if it's you know, doesn't provide some kind of entertainment factor with the game. Experimenting with maybe some new builds and new ways of thinking as far as you know, party behaviors and tactics and stuff go. Anyway, just thought, but I like it. Now, this one, yeah, okay, yeah, I remember this one. Everybody's situated just right. Got this guy here in the middle doing his thing. We can keep him off balance, then he can't start doing all this crap. Okay, I don't really, you know what? I'd be willing to get knocked out just to get that guy out of there. Okay, all these guys are, oh, they did work to Alistair. And these Hurlocks, they're decent enemies, really. They do a good amount of damage with those swords of theirs. These guys too, actually. They have higher defenses, I've noticed. These little, I guess in real life they used to be dwarfs, right? But now they're genlocks. And they're harder to hit. I notice I miss them more often than other enemies. Or other Darkspawn, anyway. These freebies sitting around. I'll actually purchase one. We'll eventually get into, what are they, you know, flawless crystals and stuff. That add a good, I don't know what, 25-30% extra damage and extra defenses to Shale. I don't know that I'll be running with Shale too much. I've never really worked with him much. Honestly, what I was just talking about a minute ago, I could look in there and see if there's not a way to incorporate Shale into the party. I know his ground pound thing, which is so effective when you're playing a Golem in the Fade, doesn't work well with the party because you wind up stunning all your friendlies.
By the Maker, we're saved!
You weren't sent by the ban, were you? To save us? The statue outside? Why would... Oh, I think I see. You bought the control rod, didn't you? You came here looking for Shale.
So the guy's obviously an apostate. Take a little closer look at that. Darkspawn seem to be really interested in this place right here. Obviously. I mean, they had to put the shield up for a reason.
That damnable Golem brought us nothing but trouble. My mother sold the rod years ago after it killed my father, and good riddance. It's deactivated, I think. I don't really know. It's been like that ever since the day my father died. My father's name was Wilhelm. Mage to the Isles of Redcliffe and a hero in the war against Orlais. And what did he get? One day, my mother found him outside the tower, with so many broken bones she could barely recognize him, and Shale standing over him just like it is now. My father deserved better than that. But if you really want to wake Shale up, well, it's yours now. This was my father's laboratory, beneath his tower. Or it was, anyhow. Look, I know you probably have more important things on your mind, but I really need your help. I know you already saved my life, and I'm grateful, but my daughter is inside the laboratory. She was afraid and ran too far in before I could stop her. I don't know how she made it past my father's defenses. One of the men tried to go after her. He was killed, but you could find her, couldn't you? There are defenses my father put down here to keep strangers out. I knew about the barrier, I had the key for that, but the rest of it, well, we never came down here. Ever. You will? Thank the Maker! My father's laboratory is just past the next area, I think. She has to be there.
I'm surprised Morgan didn't have some negative, pissy attitude to catch about that. Like she usually does when we try to do anything nice. Just an observation. Being a Grey Warden, we've at least partaken of the taint, so to speak. Now that magical shield, it was obviously a you know, good or nurturing magic, or whatever you might call that, beneficial magic, and not blood magic. I'm assuming that he was using to erect that barrier, but it knew to keep the Darkspawn out, but it let us pass through. But if the barrier could detect taint, I'm curious why it let me through. My character. Unless you specifically just had to be a tainted creature such as Darkspawn. I don't know. I just a thought. Okay, so we're going to go find out what these defenses are. Alright, so we see demons down here. Alright, I mean, just plain and simple. So, I guess it's possible this guy's father was a blood mage. And he is, you know, his father's son, so, you know, they say magic runs in the blood, runs in the family. I guess the case here is that, father passed along magic to the son, but the son chose not to partake of or have anything to do with blood magic. So I can only assume is responsible for this. Now, strength, dexterity. That actually kind of plays into what I could do with my character. But that would also really play into Alistair. So, honestly, I'm probably going to give that ring to him.
Done and done.
It's actually a pretty decent chest, too. I mean, I need some strength to wear a certain set of armor I'll be looking forward to. Armor made of drake scales and eventually dragon scales. But, I believe I need 20 strength for that. Right now it's at a base, 15. 16 buffed, because I have one ring on that raises all my attributes by 1. I could put that ring on, and it would raise specifically strength and dexterity by 2. But the one that raises everything by 1 raises everything by 1. So I don't know. I'll decide on that. It's possible I may actually take that ring and give Alistair the ring I'm wearing.
Look, someone's come to play. You have come to play, haven't you? We're playing a guessing game. It's better with more people. Kitty and me, of course. You don't see anyone else here, do you? Anyway, you should go if you're not going to play. Kitty finds you distracting.
Oh, really?
Kitty's clever. She says you want to take me back to my father, but I'm not going. She would be lonely.
You are so kind, Amalia. I would miss you dearly if you left.
No! Leave me alone! Kitty!
Nothing you say will convince Amalia to go with you. She loves only me now. I am her friend, while you are just a stranger.
Well, it's obviously a demon, right? I mean, obviously.
Oh. Did you hear that, Amalia? I have another admirer.
That's because you're wonderful, Kitty.
I have been bound to this chamber for decades, cut off from all contact. It has been maddening. Release me, mortal, and let me have the girl. Let us return to her father and leave this place forever. Mortals often allow themselves to be blinded by hope. They see what they wish to see. If the father hopes to see his Amalia alive and unharmed, perhaps he will. Thank you. You are very gracious. The mage's wards hold me within this chamber, and only a mortal may approach them. There is a trick to disarming the wards, but I do not know it. Perhaps you will succeed where the girl failed.
Oh, this is so exciting! Kitty is going to be free! I've always wanted a cat, and Kitty is so perfect and pretty.
Alright, so I'll go ahead and play some Hawaii 5-0 type music as I investigate this puzzle and do a really, well, let's say, here's the extended version. here's how to take a really long time doing this puzzle. Yeah, I sped it up a lot. It still takes forever. Anyway, I eventually get it. But now with that one persuade option, once again, it's great to have your persuade or your speech check ability maxed out. But I don't know if there's another way to save the girl and get rid of the demon. But this is one way I know that works. So. But it is possible to do both. It's also possible to, you know, this could end badly also. Try to get the best possible outcome out of this. Alright, the tiles that you need often require 5 or 6 shuffles just to get them specifically into position.
I can feel the magic fading. Oh, I had forgotten how it feels not to be caged.
Kitty? What's happening?
A wonderful thing, my dear, for both of us. Betrayal! You will not take the girl. She is mine!
Kitty! You're scaring me! I won't let you inside me! I won't!
I wonder if she's a mage also. Or will be one day or something. Probably. It's the guy's daughter, I mean. Yeah. Anyway, of course Morgan disproved of that too. Yeah, Morgan, sorry for lying to the demon. Your homegirl. The demon, your homegirl. Kitty. Kitty Morgan's homegirl. She didn't appreciate me lying to her. Well, whatever. Morgan will just have to get over it.
Let's get started.
Alright. I would be brave and activate Cone of Cold if I could remember just to stay the hell away from my mages. Or at least out from in front of my mages. That's a ridiculously effective spell, but it's much better if you're playing a mage to use it on your own than trust the AI with it. Because they will freeze, / kill, / wipe out the party quickly with that spell. But they will also take out groups of enemies or set them up for lots of tasty combos like Shield Bash and, you know, criticals and things like that. So, I don't know. Okay, well, that was a waste. So was that a demon that was actually trying to possess the guy's daughter? Was this the key to the father's defenses down here? You know, his guarding his laboratory or whatever this place was. That magical trap held up wards that kept the demon imprisoned So yeah, I mean, I would have to say, I wonder if he was experimenting with the demon to some extent. Or if the demon already had him, or... I don't know.
You did it! You freed her! Thank you so much!
I'm sorry I ran away, Daddy. I was so scared.
It's all right, Butterfly. You're safe now. All the bad creatures are gone. You'll need a phrase to activate Shale. It's Doolan Han. I wouldn't want the thing, but it's obvious you can handle yourself just fine. Now we should go, and quickly. Thank you again. We owe you our lives.
Alright, now I believe that's true to the canon I imported to the Dragon Age Keep. Pretty sure. Anyway, alright, there you have it. And so, we're the good guys, and we managed to save the girl and get rid of the demon. Clear up things here in Honnleath. Now we'll go talk to Shale, and that's what we'll do in the next one. Alright, thanks for watching. If you want to subscribe, hit that button over my head. And if you want to catch the rest of my videos, click those boxes on the left. More Origins up top, and complete playlist of all my playlists down bottom. And anyway, till I see you on the next one, y'all take care, and bye-bye.